guys, it's Izzy here, and today I'm going to be doing my July book haul. I do have quite a few books, but it's like my birthday this coming week, so it's okay. July is my birth month, so I did go a little bit crazy, but let's get into this video. So, it's Leo season. If you didn't know, I had to tell everybody because I'm a Leo. It's Slash's birthday today. I have my Guns N' Roses VIP pass up there. Best VIP experience I've ever had. So shout out to Slash because he's really awesome. I love him. Yeah, so if you follow me on Bookstagram, I will put my username up on the screen. That's Instagram just for books, so if you're not familiar, you can just type it on Instagram and it comes up, but all my pictures are book related on that account. I know in middle school when I used to have like 3 Instagram accounts, people would be like, why do you have so many? I like to have all my taste on separate things, except on my YouTube channel I have everything together, but I have a Funko Pop Instagram, I have a book Instagram, I have my personal Instagram, I have my store where I sell stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. But if you follow me on Bookstagram, then you already saw these top 2 books. Yeah, actually not top 2, but they're both in the top 3 because I did show them on there because they were my number generator picks of which books I would buy on Amazon. So our first one is To Hold the Crown, the story of King Henry VII and Elizabeth of York, a novel of the Tudors by Jean Platty is my guess on how to say the last name. That is a pen name. I actually found out that is Eleanor Hibbert. Last name may be pronounced wrong. I actually have books by her in another pen name. She did different pen names for every genre. So for her like Tudor era historical fiction, she uses this name. She lived at a beach, I think in Cornwall. That was Platty Beach, and that is where that name came from. So I have shown y'all other books by this author before, but I didn't realize they were the same author. But a really cool thing about this is that it has the books in historical order. Like it goes from Henry VII and Elizabeth of York to Catherine of Aragon to Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard. So I really like that and wish that more historical fiction authors would do that, to put their books, like even all their books, not just Tudor era books, in a list of historical order, just because I prefer to read things in historical order. Like I watch my TV shows in historical order. I'm just weird like that. But Henry VII and Elizabeth of York are my favorite English monarchs, so I am very excited to read this. So adding to my collection of classics, I got probably one of the most well-known classics of all time, and that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I have actually never read this. I don't think I've read any Jane Austen, but this is super exciting because it's obviously such a famous piece of literature. There's tons of movies based on, and I haven't seen any of the movies either, but I do know a lot of people who have this as their all-time favorite book, so I can't wait to read this. So going back to historical fiction, and that is The 7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna, a novel by Juliet Grimes, and this cover would like the grapes, and I guess it's wine. Watch it not be grapes. But I love this cover, and this is set in Italy, which y'all know I love Italy. I traveled there and was there for like a little over a week, and it was like my best experience ever. So this is a historical fiction set in Italy, so I love an Italian setting, and it's just about Stella, who has had so many close calls to death, and everybody thinks something is going on with her by having so many close calls, maybe being a witch, who knows. But obviously when this is taking place, I think it's, yeah, World War II, they immigrate to America, so we'll see what happens to her in America. So changing genres now, because Barnes & Noble didn't have any books that I came there for that were on my number generated list, because that's just how they are. So I just picked out random ones that I have been looking at. So I got The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. So I don't even know what the first book's really about, but the second book takes place part at Dodger Stadium, and I'm like, Dodger Stadium, I'll buy it, because Dodger Stadium is like my home. I love it. So that's why I got that. So our second one is a graphic novel, and I was actually looking for this in June, but I couldn't find it. So I finally found it because they still had their Pride table out on July 1st, and it was there. So I got Bloom. I've heard really good things. No, I don't know about the style. I mean, I like the style of the drawings, but just the whole book being blue, I'm not too sure about. It's a graphic novel, if I didn't say. So I'm not too sure about that. But it should be a lot of fun. So our next book is actually, the author lives in my state, so that's pretty cool, in Charleston, South Carolina. So Signe Pike. So this is The Lost Queen, and it's Outlander meets Camelot, and like, that's amazing. So The Lost Queen is about Merlin's sister, and I actually never realized that Merlin, is he Scottish, or does she marry somebody who's Scottish? I think she marries, yeah, she's promised to a son of a Christian king, and she connects more, our main character connects more with the old ways, with the druids and all that, and I'm pretty sure she's Merlin's sister. I think I saw that somewhere. Oh yeah, she's the sister of the man who inspired the legend of Merlin, and she's a forgotten queen of 6th century Scotland. I can't pronounce the name. Logarath? It's my guess. So continuing with Scotland, we are going to a non-fiction novel now. Now, I was not going to buy it because of the cover, but I don't think, I cannot find the normal cover anywhere. It has the movie cover, but I love Margot Robbie, so it's okay. And it is Mary Queen of Scots by John Guy, not sure, but this is the biography of Mary Queen of Scots. If you've seen Reign, that's about her, but I'm not going to say loosely inspired, but there are some things that are not correct in that show. But that was the show that really got me into historical fiction, and actually when I was in England, I got to see where Mary Queen of Scots is buried in Westminster Abbey. So going to book of the month, I did splurge a little and got myself 3 books instead of the normal 2, just because it is my birthday. So in the adult box, I got Gods of Jade and Shadows. So this is by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and this is kind of a Cinderella retelling set in the 1920s in Mexico. And we do have a lot of, I'm pretty sure it's like, yeah, it's Mayan, my bad. And she it deals with a lot of the Mayan gods and everything, which is really cool because I do want to read more historical fictions that take place in pre-Columbian America. So that means before Columbus came to America, before Europeans came to America. So just native stories, Aztec, Mayan, Inca, you know, all that kind of stuff. I just find it very interesting because we don't learn a lot about that in school, so I do want to know more about it. So going on to another historical fiction, it is The Golden Hour by Beatrice Williams. So I'm pretty sure this is set in, is it set in Nassau? Yeah, Nassau. Yeah, I've been there. I know I've been to all these, but I haven't been to Mexico yet. Mexico though, not Mexico, yo. This is in 1941, and this is apparently about socialites and all during the World War II era in Nassau. I've never read anything in Nassau, so that should be fun to read. And we had the Duke and Duchess of Windsor drama happening, Edward the Abdicator, yeah, drama. So our next book is one that I have seen a lot about on Bookstagram, and that is Miracle Creek by Angel Kim, and this is like a courtroom drama, and I've never read anything like that. So moving on to the YA box, and if you want to get a free book and get me a free book as well with Book of the Month, use my link down below. It should be in the pinned comment, but I did have trouble with that last time, so maybe check my Twitter, which is linked in the description box, if you would like to get a free book. So in the YA box, this one's really annoying because on the side it doesn't have the Book of the Month thing, so I don't know why that is. I don't know if certain publishers, this is Simon Poltz, so I don't know if they don't allow it or what, but this is Sky Without Stars, System Divine Book 1 by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rindle. So this is basically Les Mis in outer space, and Les Mis is one of my favorite books. I read it this year and it was so good. So this book is quite long like Les Mis, but just the names in this, it's Chatine, Marcellus, Alet, probably pronouncing all that wrong, but a thief, an officer, a guardian, 3 strangers, 1 shared destiny. So It's Les Mis in space. So our next book is All of Us with Wings by Michelle Rose Kill. Sorry, I saw an L instead of an I. So this is set in San Francisco, as you can see by the Golden Gate Bridge, and then the Painted Ladies, I think they're called. But this is kind of about the punk scene in San Francisco, and that's what really drew me in. And yeah, ooh, look at that, really pretty. So our next one is Four Dead Queens by Astrid Scalate. I don't know, but I have been seeing this cover every time I go to Target, and I'm like, it's so beautiful. And obviously getting that book in the month is cheaper than getting it at Target. It's, yeah, I don't know what it's about. This was purely a cover buy for me. So moving on to our next book is one that my grandma gave me because Pat Conroy is one of her favorite authors. He's like very well known in the South, and he's from I'm pretty sure he's from South Carolina. His books take place in South Carolina though. She said this one wasn't one of her favorites, but she just wanted to give me some. She gave me a whole list right here of her favorites, and I was like, just buy them for me for my birthday and we're good, because how I buy my books is through a random number generator, and it could take me years to get to certain books. But I do have another book that is on her list. But yeah, this is such a floppy one. Like, love it. This one is, I got purely because I heard the audiobook from Katie's Book Nook said that it sounds like Jon Snow, and I'm like, I love Kit Harington, so I need it. And yes, and look at that map. But my book did come like from Amazon like that, which is kind of depressing, but I will be doing the audiobook, so hopefully that won't matter. But like, I don't know when I'm going to read this, but I want to get it so I know this is the one I need to do the audiobook for, because I'll forget. So, and it's in the eve of war, choose your side. There's a princess, a rebel, a sorceress, and an heir. So cool. It's all messed up though. Amazon, do better. So Books A Million, I think, yeah, it was Books A Million, was having, you could buy 3 paperbacks, get 1 free, something like that. So I got You by Caroline Kepnes, and this is a thriller, and Stephen King has a blurb on the front, which is, so this is a Lifetime series, and I didn't want the cover with Dan from Gossip Girl on the cover because I'm not a huge Gossip Girl fan. Don't hate on me, it only made it through 2 seasons, and yeah, that's not my taste of TV shows. But this is about a guy stalking a girl in New York City. And our next book is a multi-generational tale, which is my favorite, and that is The Immortalist, a novel by Chloe Benjamin. So this is in 1969, New York's Lower East Side, which is where I stay in New York. And then we go to her children, that character's children, and we had the golden boy escapes to the West Coast searching for love in 80s San Francisco. Dreamy Clara becomes a Las Vegas musician. And the eldest son, Daniel, struggles to maintain security as an army doctor post 9/11, and Bookish Vera throws herself into longevity research. So, I love multi-generational tales. They are probably my favorite, and this sounds really interesting. So the next book I got per recommendation of one of the workers at my local Barnes & Noble. She knows that I like historical books, and so she recommended My Dear Hamilton, a novel of Eliza Schuyler Hamilton. And this is by Stephanie Dray and Laura Camoni, which I have heard of Stephanie Dray. I have one of her other books. I'm pretty sure. I know the last name's Dray, so I'm assuming it's the same one. This book is just about Eliza Hamilton, how she met Alexander Hamilton, and just her whole life. So a biography. So our next stack is our last stack, and we have another one recommended to me by my grandma, and that is All the King's Men. She wrote a big paper on this. I forgot what it was for, but she wrote a paper on this in like college or something. And this is by Robert Penn Warren, and it says the New York Times is a definite novel about American politics. I love political intriguing books, so I've never read any American political stuff, so that should be cool. But I heard this is basically a Louisiana Trump because he has tons of women and stuff. So this was the winner of the 1947 Pulitzer Prize, and it is considered a classic. So fun. So going back to the Tudors, we have Edward IV and Elizabeth Woodville, A True Romance by Amy Lyson. And this is a really small one. This is like not even 300 pages, which is really nice. But this is a nonfiction, and we have Philippa Gregory leaving a blurb on the front, and she's like the queen of historical fiction. I have like my two queens. It's Philippa Gregory and Alison Weir. Alison Weir is probably the one who got me into reading historical fiction. But Philippa Gregory is the one with all the TV shows like The White Queen, The White Princess, The Spanish Princess. Really good shows, highly recommend. So this is about the love story of Edward IV and Elizabeth Woodville. If you don't know anything about that, he was supposed to marry Bona of Savoy, who is like, she married the Duke of Sforza, who is an Italian general. But he didn't marry the woman he was supposed to have married, Elizabeth Woodville instead, who was a widowed. She was widowed and she had 2 sons already, so that was kind of frowned upon, and she was the first commoner that a king married, I'm pretty sure. And I forgot, one of the royal weddings recently was the first time somebody had married a commoner since this, but I don't remember who it was. My bad. So our next book I saw at Target, and that is Times Convert, and I did get a discount on this, but I took the tag off because I don't like having the stickers on my books. So this is like a vampire novel, and it starts out in the Revolutionary War, and then it moves over to Paris. And if something has time travel, I'm going to read it, because I do believe time travel is a thing and it's already happening. Because if time travel is invented in the future, wouldn't people be coming back already? So I have this big theory about time travel. I'm not going to talk about it right now because this video is already like 16 minutes long, and you don't need to hear about my time travel. So this was my dad's book that he was giving away, and this is the true story of the 26-year-old woman behind the most exclusive high-stakes underground poker game in the world, Molly's Game, by Molly Bloom. So this is her book that she wrote, and she had a big poker circle of tons of celebrities like A-Rod, Leo, you know, big names like that, Ben Affleck, yeah, Russian and Italian mobs, and then the US government got involved, and she got arrested and all this stuff. Joe Keery's in this movie. So yeah, there's a movie. Jessica Chastain plays Molly Bloom. So I always thought it sounded very fascinating, and I want to read this before I see the movie. So our last book I got on Amazon Prime Day for real cheap, and that is Furyborn, the Imperium Trilogy, Book 1 by Claire Legrand. So let me like, if a book's red, I love it. That's my favorite color. And I have it all stuck. So 2 young women centuries apart hold the power to either save the world or doom it. So this is about 2 women ruling. We stand, and yeah, awesome. And again, you'll know I love multi-generational tales, so I love when we're going against 2 different time periods. But yeah, those are all my books that I got this month. I know a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye! Bonus, if you stay till the very end, it is my birth month of July, so now I will be having my Amazon wish list down below in the description box. Don't feel obligated to buy me any gifts, but it would be really awesome if y'all could. Thank you!